What's going on, you Polak pole polishers? Welcome to Grunt Speak Live, episode 163. I'm Toxic Male. That's Terrence Pop.
How y'all doing?
He's got his rugby shirt on again tonight.
I like my rugby shirts.
Man.
Hey,
Hey, what?
I like the rugby
Blah,
shirts.
blah, blah.
Hey, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Huh?
Blah, 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 blah.
What are you talking about?
It's dudes, you know.
Yeah.
You start drinking, you start communicating in grunts. Hence, Grunt Speak.
Also, you notice like the more heavy, the more shots you take, the closer everyone gets to each other until you're
like
literally
it's
in
the
front.
phrase, like first shot, you're right here. Second shot, how you doing? Hey, by the time you're on 5 shots, like, hey, God!
Exactly.
Talking into each other's faces.
Yeah, once you're like 5 shots deep, I mean, it's like drinking with, with Braille.
Which is, necessary when you're, going after lasagna, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or should I say,
Ooh.
if you notice up on the board, boo, 465.
There we go.
Outstanding.
Read it.
Oh, I'm going to read it right now. This is from Rusty, as he would like to be known.
He doesn't want to use his real name.
He's going to go by Rusty.
Yeah, and this guy actually lives around here.
Oh, yeah, and I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, duh, right here at the top. Hey, Pops, it's true. I actually am a mathematics professor at a college in the suburb of Detroit. I got tired of math kicking my ass in high school one day, so I decided to start fighting back, and so here I am. Anyway, while attending a university in Detroit when I was 19 years old, I was hit by a campus security car and seriously injured.
God damn.
Oof. Because of the time I needed to take off to heal, I lost my full-ride scholarship, but eventually fought and got it back. If this wasn't enough, I had my son, who was about 1 month old at the time of the incident. Damn. You got a 1 month old at 19? Mom, we're filming. You have to go. Sorry. That's proxy, Mom. I'm trying to say thank you to Pop for some paperwork. Thanks for coming down.
No problem, Proxy Mama.
All right, what else we got here? Let's see. Yeah, 1 month old son at 19.
Well, hey,
Hey, he's slipping one by the goalie.
he slipped one by the goalie.
This was in 2005, so he already had the safe sex talk and all that fun stuff.
Oh, fuck yeah, he did.
Apparently, he decided to ignore it. Let's see here. Given the state of my health, my relationship with his mom quickly deteriorated.
Shocker.
You can't provide for me? Well, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Everything suddenly became my fault, and she wasn't happy. Go figure. So while I was having to pee over the side of my bed into plastic urine containers, she went behind my back and began filing for child support and child custody at the Wayne County Circuit Court Industrial Complex. Needless to say.
Which is incredibly corrupt.
Wayne County? Never.
Oh, my God.
No, people in Wayne County didn't elect Kwame Kilpatrick and Coleman Young.
Yeah.
Never. They would never do such
They
a thing.
kept reelecting those idiots, even though they ran out all the businesses and all the population left.
It is what it is. The long road of fuckery began. However, this isn't necessarily the main reason for writing my email. The reason I write is actually because of my son, who is now 17. Due to the oppressive and alienating nature of how his mom utilized the court system, he was admitted for suicidal ideation twice since 2020.
That's bad.
And that's not a coincidence. The self-deletion ideation has gone up quite a bit in the last 2 years. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Could it have something to do with blue state policies?
Could be.
In which we happen to live in one? Or at the very least, we have a blue governor. Totally not a mass murdering transformer.
Cunt bag. Yeah, let's go with cunt bag.
I'm totally cool with that.
Or prolapsed anus. Yeah, let's do this. A cunt bag prolapsed anus.
My brother calls her demon milf. I'm like, dude, if you want to bang demons, that's your thing.
No.
I'm going to be fun over here. I'll keep it vanilla.
All right.
I have no doubt that the reason for his desire to self-delete is due to the single motherhood programming and weaponizing he had to endure his entire life. Shortly after he was released from his second time, though, something life-changing began happening. I found your video.
All right.
It would be a severe understatement to say that your personal history with the court was relatable. I was so relieved to finally hear somebody local that had gone through a similar custody situation as me. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that we're not the only ones to go through this BS. But damn, I'm simply baffled at how little people are talking about the horrors of the family court system. Anyway, your videos truly helped bring my soul back to life. And with each new video I'd watch, I'd immediately digest and apply your wisdom and methods specifically to help my son heal. Thanks to your experience, realism, and style of comedy, dad jokes are my specialty, by the way.
All right.
You've given me the hope, strength, and courage to help release my son from the shackles of single motherhood programming, all while releasing myself from them too, as I too am a product of this type of upbringing. I'm happy to report that my son is currently doing very well mentally and is finally beginning to believe that he actually does have a purpose for being in this world. He's even starting to see the natural value and beauty of his manhood, which has given him a great outlook on life.
Good.
Consequently, I too have a better outlook on life, and I no longer live in fear of his mother nor the court system. I have a lot to thank you for in this regard, truly. It is my belief that God has chosen you to be a beacon of hope for those in similar situations as ours. I know he will continue to bless and take care of you for this. To this end, if I may, I would like to humbly request a +1 on your chalkboard in honor of my son. It would really mean a lot. It would really mean the world to us, as it represents yet another victory over the nightmare that is the family circuit court. It would also be a kick-ass graduation present to show him when the time comes. Thank you for taking the time to read my email, as well as for all you do for us dads and kids.
465, motherfucker.
465.
465. Coming up on 5 bills.
Yes. Tell us your stories, dudes. I keep telling you, tell us your stories. Oh, and Chief Kick-a-Bitch of the Slapahoe Nation, if you're out there, your story is tomorrow's video. Winning.
We did, yeah, it was so long we had to do a whole goddamn video on it.
But it is so worth it.
It is pretty good.
It is one of the best karmic comebacks.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
spoil it.
No, we're not spoiling it.
Beautiful.
Listen, you guys are gonna love it.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and also I had a couple of 3 or 4 extra people show up for the live stream over the weekend, which is cool.
Very nice. Some new faces.
Yeah. And listen, I was covering some subjects we're going to touch on tonight as well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's very important.
Well, it's been long overdue because basically ever since the raid at Mar-a-Lago happened and the IRS, the Inflation Reduction Bill was passed, people have been on us to cover this. So your wish is our command.
Mm-hmm. No.
I hate talking about shit.
Well,
the IRS is one of the two least loved agencies by the American people.
All right. Now, well, first of all,
give them all this money. Wow.
If you look at the laws, it is actually property taxes typically, income tax is typically not a mandatory thing.
And it was deemed unconstitutional as of 1912.
Correct.
And yet here we are still paying it.
And people are still getting thrown in jail for tax evasion.
Under threat of the IRS's own personal hit squad.
And what's going on here, and I'm going to break it down into Grunt Speak. Since 1970, the ruling class has quietly taken bribs and kickbacks.
Bribs
and kickbacks to look the other way as our industry was outsourced overseas so people could make more money.
Yep.
All right. So what that does, slowly, it's literally like the death of 1,000 cuts.
Yep.
Over for between 1970 and in early 2000s, we had NAFTA, we shut down, they have the Rust Belt. That place used to make steel and all kinds of alloys and gone. We used to have a huge sector for making clothes and fabric, gone.
Yep.
All right. And it's just one after another. And now the Democrats, the leftoids, the only reason they get elected is they offer people free shit. They have no solutions or programs or ways to make everything better. So what's happened is you have the people at the top who use the loopholes that their buddies put in place so they're not paying taxes. Then you have like the upper stratus of individuals, which has gotten a lot smaller. They pay very few taxes. And then over the past 10 years, we've literally watched our middle class go to wafer thin. Who's left to tax? Oh, that's
exactly.
right. all of the people who make less than $400,000.
Yep.
And who better to run down that money than to fucking add 90,000 IRS agents?
Because that's totally going to work.
Yeah, and listen, I looked at some of the pictures of some of these fucking idiots that are training with guns. Listen, there's going to be some serious fucking problems. And as we go along, I want to compare what's going on here to a little of, pre-World War II Germany.
You got it.
Okay. But that's what's going on. So just so you know.
Yeah. Well, just think about how stupid this is. Like you were saying, you can only have a party of the poor as long as there are people to tax. If you have a donor class that you refuse to tax, and then you have the poor that you're gunning for easy votes by offering them free shit, and yet there are less and less people to tax because you're also encouraging them to abort their children and go into the workforce instead of instead of having a strong nuclear family. Sooner or later, when your birth rates fall below replacement, which they did many years ago, you have a demographic time bomb on your hands that you may or may not need a Chinese bioweapon for.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Shocker. But, I'm going to be
saying.
honest, it didn't kill enough people.
Well,
so technically,
well, if you're talking about the elderly, which they're not producers for society, they're takers from society, it did quite a lot.
All right.
Especially in China.
Women don't normally produce enough. They take more than they produce.
Smells like your ex.
WIC, Welfare, Section 8.
Yep.
We have programs in various states for child care. We have programs in various states for women, single mothers, so they can get an education. It's all, listen, we're
more
literally...
that free shit that they don't have any money to pay for.
And this started in the 80s. They've been robbing the Social Security Fund to pay for the child support under Title 4D. Okay. So when everyone runs out of money and for Social Security, I want you to thank the single mothers because those cunts did it to you. And the government that gives them free shit made it happen.
And it's hilarious. They all think they're out there being stunning and brave and fighting the patriarchy when really they're doing the patriarchy's bidding.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen.
They engineered this entire crisis and it's going to blow up in their face. But it's going to take all of us with them.
Yes.
That's how screwed we are.
Yeah. And right now, the temperature in the country is getting quite high. All right. And that's not good.
Nope.
And, and listen, when people are going to prison because they can't pay these taxes and they can't feed their families, or say you have a family member gets picked up for something, you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what happens in banana republics. And quite literally, the government we have now is running like a banana republic.
Yes, it is.
All right.
But to insist that it is, to even say it out loud, according to the New York Slimes, oh, guess what? It's a conspiracy theory. This is the left's new racism.
Well,
the conspiracy theory, it's been thrown around so many times in the last 6 years to describe any truth. It doesn't have any meaning anymore.
Well, the reason the left has as much power as they do is they've been able to shut everyone down for about 10 years using blame and shame tactics.
And it worked.
It worked, and it needs to stop working.
That's the thing. The reason why they're so pissed scared of Trump and the MAGA movement is because it's not working anymore. They used to be able to just get up on a debate pulpit and bully with the istophobic words, and everybody would, well, I don't want to be seen as that. I'm just going to back down.
Bully and lie.
Bully and lie. Well, either way. But now the bullying and the lying, instead of making everybody back down, they're just going, whatever, bro. You fuck kids.
That's right. Yeah, that's a new definition for libeling.
That's pretty much it right there.
Yeah.
And yep, here it is. So the Inflation Reduction Act will double the IRS workforce in the next decade. Now let's not staff the border patrol.
Oh yeah.
Let's not prevent those people from coming in and becoming even more of a burden on a system that doesn't have enough money coming in and way too much going out. No,
this is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know.
Yeah, and they insist that these efforts are primarily to help the beleaguered agency hire new employees and to upgrade outdated technology and improve its ability to respond. Aren't these all arguments that were actually true about the border?
It's about the border and most police departments in the United States.
So let's just boil it down to exactly what it is. We have an administration, fairly elected, of course, that had a choice between declaring war on people who want to bleed this system dry or the people who actually produce for it.
Mm-hmm.
They chose the latter. That lets you know exactly where you stand with this illegitimate regime.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Soviet America. Bunch of bullshit.
It is a bunch of bullshit.
But Republicans who have long accused the IRS of unfairly targeting conservatives have seized on the law.
Stop right there. They lost a fucking case. They paid almost $4 million in damages. Now,
never happened.
Granted, those are pussy numbers.
Yes,
but
these are pussy numbers.
Quite literally. They shouldn't have settled, and they should have sued the IRS for billions of fucking dollars.
Nothing happened to Lois Lerner for destroying the emails and causing all this shit. She retired with a full pension, and that was it. Nothing happened to her, and nothing happened to Obama, who, I love it. His presidency, it was the Seinfeld presidency. One, he did nothing. And two, when bad things happen, he was like, well, I found out about it on CNN like the rest of y'all.
But the thing is, the government doesn't seem to understand, and this applies to all governments within this country.
Yep.
When you run our dollar into the level of being valueless, all right, do you think people are just going to go after a few people at the top? No. Historically speaking, they're going to go to everyone's fucking house and look for you, and bad shit is going to fucking happen. That's a historical example. In fact, I sent you that video of that cop. Can we put that up here real quick?
You were going to cover that tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh,
tomorrow,
okay.
Well, not tomorrow. Thursday.
All right.
Just say. It's kind of
I
off
was trying to segue
into
it.
Here.
Yeah, but the thing is well, I mean, what are they going to do when they have fucking thousands of people hunting you to kill you because you're fucking ruined their country?
Read A Tale of Two Cities, and you will get a very accurate picture of what it was like after the French Revolution.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. And listen, I don't want that to happen. But listen, I mean, I'm not an idiot. My ESP is telling me we're beyond the point of no return. So right now, we're just waiting to see what is going to be the huge thing that kicks this shit off.
This could very well be it. And I'm sorry, gaslighting the entire country is not going to endear them to your cause.
No.
I love this here. So the rest of this paragraph here. Republicans who have long accused the IRS of unfairly targeting conservatives, fact not opinion, has seized on the law to fan unfounded conspiracy theories about the threat that mom and pop shops and middle-class Americans will face from an emboldened tax collector. Now, if you remember correctly, during the campaigning leading up to the stunning and brave, totally legitimate 81 million scoops of ice cream social that we had in 2020, Biden made a promise. And what was his promise? If you make under $400,000 a year, you will experience no new taxes whatsoever. Well, I got bad news for you. Up to 90% of all new taxes in the Biden inflation bill could come from small businesses making less than $200,000 a year.
Yep, because that's all they could do. They can't go after the big Walmart and Amazon.
They're not going after their donors.
Yeah, that's a donor class. Those are companies that are so big they're basically using their money to throw up an invisibility screen.
Yep.
So, and they're going to This is going to destroy the economy.
It will.
It will.
It says flat out right here, this comes from the report, small business owners may soon be in for a lengthy and expensive battle with the IRS, tax experts warn. A key provision in the Inflation Reduction Act, which throws an extra $80 billion to the IRS, which is what you want to do when you're having an inflation crisis. Spend more money you don't have.
Yeah.
To improve the agency's collection of underreported income. We'll end up targeting small business owners to pay for the legislation, according to nonpartisan watchdog, the Joint Committee on Taxation. The group estimates between 78 and 90% of the estimated additional $200 billion the IRS will collect will come from small businesses making less than $200,000 annually. Complete shocker.
Yep.
And this is right here. This explains it perfectly. The IRS will have to target small and medium businesses because they won't fight back. Joe Hinchman, Executive Vice President at National Taxpayers Union Foundation, told the Post, "We've seen this play out before. The IRS says, we're going after the rich. But when you're trying to raise that much money, the rich can only get you so far. In fact, going after lower and middle class can actually be more lucrative for IRS auditors than trying to get more money from the wealthy because the rich have their lawyers and fight it. That's why the poor are easier to go after."
And also, listen, if we've already come up with the fact that IRS is now, the paying taxes is technically voluntary.
Yeah.
All right. So, but now they're throwing people in jail for not paying taxes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, it's going to get to the point where they're going to squeeze blood from the turnip and
yeah.
It's just not going to work out.
I know that there's a lot of people out there who are demoralized as shit. There's a lot of people who have been swallowing black pills like some of their ex-wives swallowed black semen, which is probably why you're divorced. But bottom line is this. There's a lot of defortification that's been going on in the last year and a half, okay? You do not have the luxury of sitting it out because you think it's pointless this November. Get out there and fucking vote and encourage your militias to police these polling locations.
Yep.
Because the only hope that we have of fending this off at the pass is a red blood wave that will massacre these people and kick this fornicator out of office.
Now, hang on. We are not advocating direct violence.
No, a red tsunami, a red wave.
He's saying massacre with massive amounts of votes.
Massive, more votes. That's what we mean.
Yes. Tidal wave of votes.
And watch those polling locations, especially in your blue districts.
And I'm going to actually, for the Pops Prepper, I'm putting together a warning order and do a video on it, released to everyone.
I love this. Sogo sums it up perfectly. The answer to 1984 is 1776.
I like it.
I like it too. Fantastic. Oh yeah, you want to see the suicidal, cranky old man talk about how he's totally not going to tax us?
Yeah. I want to.
Yeah, it's always good to hear it straight from the old man's lips.
Could somebody out there put together a montage of this motherfucker lying?
His butt's been wiped.
Oh my god!
Probably the only thing he said that's true.
We're cutting deficits to fight inflation by having the wealthy and big corporations.
Cutting deficits to fight inflation. I haven't seen anything but an increase in deficit in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Finally began to pay part of their fair share. Big corporations will now pay a minimum of 15% tax instead of us 55 of them got away with paying $0 in federal income tax.
That's called deductions.
Listen, like when Trump got in, when he got elected, the Democrats were going crazy about he doesn't pay his fucking taxes. He was using the same loopholes the Democrats put in place.
And so, you know who else uses those loopholes? Socialists like AOC and Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
On $40 billion in profit. And I'm keeping my campaign commitment. No one, let me emphasize, no one earning less than $400,000 a year will pay a penny more in federal taxes.
That was a lie.
Everything this motherfucker does is deceptive. Every time he opens his fucking mouth, either he forgets something, doesn't know where the fuck he is, or he's straight up lying.
You need an interpreter just to listen to him talk half the time. And he's reading off of a teleprompter, and he'll still say crazy wazoo shit like, if Hunter comes over to your house, goes into the fridge, and he discovers that the mustard is actually in the library, you might need to change your plans and drive under the bridge instead of flying over it.
Listen, we got to do that comedy skit with Bidenese.
Bidenese.
Yeah.
Oh, you speak a Bidenese? Oh.
Yeah. And have subtitles at the bottom of what we really mean. I think that would be hilarious. Come on.
We'd have to come up with some. I don't even know if I could force my brain into a nugget that small to try to figure out how to say things in Bidenese.
We can figure it out because it's just idiotic gibberish.
If you peel the label off the beer bottle, the beer deposit reappears someplace in Singapore, and whores, they got the warts and the privilege, and the whiskey is good.
There you go. What?
I'm just like looking at random things around the room because that's what he looks like half the time.
Yeah, he's
just
fucking
distracted.
Fuck.
It's like, hey,
Fucking
Biden, happy keys. Get him off the fucking stage. Get the Easter Bunny.
Would you want a yo-yo out back? We got a yo-yo here for you.
Ooh. Jail. And, of course, not to be outdone by just having, facts. There's more facts for you. Every Senate Dem voted against the IRS audit protection for taxpayers earning less than $400K. Shocker.
Liar!
Shocker.
Liar.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He always tells the truth. Most popular president ever. Never mind the fact that he's now the least popular president ever with the lowest job approval rating, I think, in 50 years. His approval ratings are lower than Carter.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. He's probably one of the worst presidents we've ever had.
I think he might actually be the worst. Because you can go back in time and look at specific things that were catastrophic in a lot of different, presidencies. I defy anyone to come up with someone who has fucked up this much all at the same time.
Yep. And
This is biblical fuckitude.
If the two-way rifle range kicks off under his watch, he will be the worst president we've ever had.
That's why I said, dude, you got to get out there and vote in November, even if you're completely demoralized by the shenanigans we saw a year and a half ago. You can't let it get you down because that is exactly what these mother fornicators want.
It is.
I mean, the only thing that's going to save the republic are the people in it. You can't rely on the government to do it. They're the ones who got it into this position in the first place.
Yeah, and the Democrats are over a barrel because they can only stay in power by offering free shit.
Yeah.
And the only way they can afford free shit is to take it from us and give it to people who didn't earn it.
Yep. And like we said, it's not a conspiracy theory to point any of this out because it has happened before, and it's from both sides. Now, you go to this, there's this article here published on, Patriot Post. Dems weaponize the IRS to silence critics. And it goes through many different examples here. President Joe Biden is starving the Defense Department, requesting too little funding to even keep up with inflation despite Russian and Chinese aggression, yet his bill will make the IRS, I love this part, 3/4 the size of the U.S. Marine Corps.
Yep, that's absolutely unnecessary.
It's true the IRS needs funding to improve services to taxpayers, including getting phone calls answered and returns processed, moving from antiquated paper files to modern technology. The bill allocates a minuscule amount to those priorities and puts the lion's share, over $45 billion, into enforcement, which includes hiring and arming agents.
I'm sorry, all of that is a lie. All right. The IRS has been upgraded, and they're using the latest technology. They're making it sound like they're still working with paper file cabinets. Fuck off! Who the fuck do you think you're lying to here? I've been in the federal building in Detroit. I have seen the IRS is, they are not sitting around with like a paper calendar and a filing cabinet and an No, every motherfucker's got like 2 laptops and a fucking computer, and now they're going to have fucking guns.
They're doing audits on an abacus.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck Oh my God! This is such a fucking lie. This is a play for sympathy.
Oh no, this person has no sympathy whatsoever for the IRS. They're just, talking about, the information that's available.
Well, the information is a fucking lie.
It probably is. Let me see here. In the 1930s, FDR, piece of shit, for the record. Like, as soon as Biden said, well, Trump is the first openly racist president we've ever had in the White House, I'm like, excuse me? But you can't talk about FDR. No, he's a Democrat messiah still, and of course he was in a wheelchair, so you can't be ableist or any of that horse shit. He used the IRS to harass newspaper publishers who opposed his New Deal and adversaries like Huey Long and Charles Coughlin. Throughout the 50s and 60s, the IRS gave FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover access to its files, always a good idea, allowing tax information to be weaponized against the National Council of Churches, the NAACP, and Martin Luther King. Even JFK set up the Ideological Organizations Audit Project to target right-leaning groups, including the think tank American Enterprise Institute and the John Birch Society.
Yeah, first of all, we're going to have to put an end to weaponizing the alphabet agencies.
I would say just get rid of the alphabet agencies. They are leeches. Most of the time, what they do is just keep secrets.
Like, all right, hang on a minute.
It's all horse shit.
We got the CIA, NSA, and Defense Intelligence Agencies. Why do we have 3 fucking agencies? Why don't we just make it the United States Intelligence Agency?
Yeah. And here's a good question. Who's going to audit the IRS?
Yeah.
Who's going to make sure those motherfuckers are in line?
And here's another thing. All right, so we already know the whole tax thing is quote-unquote voluntary. So if you have a problem and you have to go to court, you don't go to regular court. You go to tax court, which doesn't follow the Constitution. They have their own fucking laws, and you really can't appeal it anywhere. You can't take it out of their court. It's absolute fucking horseshit. We should have one fucking court for everything, not these special courts where they could do their secret fucking horseshit and fuck you in the ass and there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Ugh.
Because they're already doing that in front of the court, too.
Oh, yeah. It's rules for thee, none for me.
Yep.
That's what it's always been. Let me see here. Oh, I forgot about this. Clinton sicked the IRS on Jennifer Flowers and Paula Jones. We know Barack Obama targeted Tea Party groups and other conservative nonprofits leading up to the 2012 election, delaying their tax status to keep them from raising money. The scandal blew up in 2013 when IRS official Lois Lerner admitted the targeting, yet no charges were brought against Lerner or any other IRS official, and she retired with full benefits, like
Correct.
I said.
Yeah, you already told that.
And the abuse continues. Biden's IRS leaked confidential tax info from Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, and other billionaires to left-wing publication ProPublica. Tax information is supposed to be kept confidential. We Americans have no choice but to provide it. But the IRS was playing footsie with left-wing media to help Democrats push their false claim that a tax crackdown is needed. NPR praised the bill last week for going after rich tax dodgers, while Slate magazine cheered the supercharged IRS. I love this here. Don't buy the rhetoric. Tax evasion is not a serious problem in the U.S. as it is in many other nations. If it is, the people who are evading the taxes are the ones who are donating to the politicians in charge, and those people are never going to be held accountable.
I mean, I pay my fucking taxes.
Yep. Americans deplore tax cheats, according to the polls. The U.S. has one of the highest voluntary tax compliance rates in the world, about 84%. And yet this requires, $80 billion and 87,000 more IRS agents?
Yeah, that is just ridiculous.
No. You know what we're looking at here? We're looking at the militarization of yet another Triple K Foundation, another militaristic wing doing the bidding of the DNC. That's exactly what we're looking at.
And similar shit like this happened prior to World War II.
Yep.
I'm just going to say here, we have Antifa and BLM quite literally are filling the role of the brown shirts in Germany between 1920 and 1930.
Yep.
And then you had Night of the Long Knives.
Yes.
That's when Hitler put together the SS, and he said, listen, we can't have two groups. These guys have helped us get this far, but we have to shut down the brown shirts. They went in, they took all of the people who ran it, whacked them, and they absorbed everyone into their agency. Okay.
Exactly.
And like
These were like the new IRS agents.
Yeah,
essentially.
and a lot of the stuff is like if you go down in here and you check like just before the election when Hitler got elected,
yeah.
he had the brown shirts out in force, causing all kinds of mayhem and fear. So everyone who was afraid would vote for him, so there would be peace.
Yep. Speaking politics in public was a potentially dangerous matter at the time. Recognizable by their brown uniforms, the SA functioned as a security force at Nazi rallies and meetings, using threats and outright violence to secure votes and overcome Hitler's political enemies. They also marched in Nazi rallies and intimidated political opponents by breaking up their meetings. Oh, sounds kind of like feminism pulling fire alarms.
Okay, now here's another thing. The Nazis later on went on to do horrible shit. They killed people.
Yeah.
And not just in war.
Well, yeah, let's substitute.
Concentration camps, and then don't even get me started on Mengele and his fucking horror show of Frankenstein experiments on people who are completely helpless.
Just substitute tax dodger for Jew, and there you go.
Well, I think this is all about creating division.
Yep.
Okay, and quite literally, the left, they've already showed their hand with the whole abortion thing.
Yes.
Safe and rare, and then once that was granted, it went off the hook to where they can kill a kid after a month, up to 28 days after it's born.
Yeah.
All right, so the people who want that to happen are now going to have an army of armed IRS agents at their disposal. They have the alphabet agencies that can climb up your ass without a warrant. And I can tell you right now, I've talked to several individuals. I'm trying to get some of them to go on the record. But big tech, they're giving your shit up to the alphabet agencies without even a goddamn warrant.
Yep.
All right. Just so we know, where we are in this.
Yep. Well, check this out here. I mean, this isn't exactly what's going on, but it's eerily similar. According to a study released in 2010 by Hans-Peter Ullmann, a Cologne history professor, Jewish wealth confiscated by the Nazis paid for roughly one-third of Germany's World War II effort. Nearly 120 billion marks, over $17.4 billion today, was plundered from German Jews by laws and looting. According to Ullmann, the tax authorities under the Nazis actively worked to destroy the Jews financially. Even Jews who managed to escape Germany before the Holocaust had to leave part of their wealth behind in the form of an exit tax. You know what that reminds me of? Gavin Newsom trying to pass legislation trying to force people who leave California to continue paying state taxes.
Yeah, they're trying to do that. Yeah. It's not going to work out for them. But let's replace Jews with evil whitey.
Yep. White guilt.
Because quite literally, they're going to be like, well, you guys enjoyed it for so long. We're just going to tax you more because you're white. I mean, fuck. This is fucking sane. This is not going to go anywhere good.
You know that people like you and I are going to be on the list. I fully anticipate.
I'm already on the list. I've been called by the FBI.
That's why I actually take far less in deductions than I am entitled to. They come to audit me, they're going to be very disappointed.
You don't make enough money. I don't make enough money.
It doesn't matter. It's about persecution. It's not about the money.
Yeah, you're right.
This is really what it's all about. This is about instilling fear and compliance.
Correct.
Just like lockdowns.
Because, look, they make you afraid, and then they can control you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had COVID. People were terrified of that for about a year. Some of us way less.
Yeah.
The smart ones.
I think it bothered me for like a week and a half.
Yeah, I gave them their 2 weeks, and then you can go fuck yourself. But then after that, it was Trump, January 6th, all this other BS, and then monkeypox, that's not working.
Trump collusion
all the
with
variants
Russia.
stopped working. The collusion stopped working. Nuclear secrets at Mar-a-Lago. None of it's working. So you know what? They're going to hit people exactly where it fucking hurts.
And their money.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, it's not going to work out.
Nope.
It's not going to work out.
And you know what? This is before a really dark time in Germany's history. Guess what they Guess what they suffered from? Boo! Hyperinflation.
Hyperinflation.
For 9 years.
Yep. And the hyperinflation is what brought was the catalyst that brought the Nazis into power for the most part. That and fear.
Because people are dumb, and what they don't realize is that when something like that happens, it's government that causes the problem.
Yes.
And voting for bigger government to control the problem
it's
is stupid.
I can't. There isn't one example of the government. You know what? We're going to step in and it'll be better. Never fucking happens.
Sell me government. Sell me government.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, our founding fathers,
Ugh.
the federal government was supposed to enforce the borders, run a tariff, and that's about it.
Just about.
Wow.
But no. I actually know leftoids who believe that when you have an economic crisis like this, printing more money will solve it.
No, it never works.
I shit you not.
Yep.
And these people vote.
Yep.
That's why I'm telling you, get the fuck out there in November. Holy hot damn.
Yeah. And look, all of this Green New Deal horse shit, you're literally, the left is putting in policies that are going to starve millions, if not billions, of people out of their lives across the world. All right, all for fear of the environment and global warming and stuff.
If you want to know whether or not the man-made climate change thing is real, this is all you have to do. Look at the actions of the people who are trying to sell it to you.
Correct.
Are they giving up their private planes and McMansions? Nope. Are they selling their beachfront properties because they just know in their heart that they're going to get swamped and blown out to sea? No, they're buying more.
Yeah, Obama lives on what, Martha's Vineyard in a $12 million house or some shit.
Yeah. And Al Gore, Mr. Climate Change himself, has a mansion in Tennessee that uses in 1 year what most houses use in 19.
Wow.
That's how much energy he uses.
And listen,
fuck.
All the private jets, private helicopters, the security convoys that are always SUVs that take up a ton of fucking gas because they're armored.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Get the fuck out of here.
You're not fooling anybody, leftoids. You're fooling horrible people who have to virtue signal because they know they're pieces of shit.
Yep.
So they put up a facade on social media to make their friends think they're good people when behind closed doors they're telling kindergartners what they like in bed.
Or it just could be, people who are radically stupid thinking they're being good.
There's always that too.
Yeah.
Easily manipulated sheeple, the kind of people who lose their virginities at 12 because their friend said they did it first.
Yeah, the sheeple. They did it first.
I don't know anyone like that or anything.
No, I don't do that. I've never done this before.
Totally not a chick. That's a great lie. Every dude's favorite lie is, I've never done this before.
Come on!
I don't normally do
Get the hell out of here.
Meanwhile, their dog is like taking a break from sniffing his balls like, right. Goes back to work.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
What a time to be alive, Pop. What a time to be alive.
Well, we're in interesting times. That is definitely, that's happening.
Yeah. And, of course, when this blows up, and all the conspiracy theories are proved true because that's what happens. Now, it used to be wait a few years and you find out that it's true. Lately, it's been like
6 months.
6 months. In some cases, 48 hours.
You know what else is falling apart?
What?
The whole poke and smoke. Yeah. That is, there are people out there who are bringing the real medical evidence, the real insurance payouts, the real death certificates, and because you can't hide the numbers.
Nope.
It's falling apart.
The thing is, they can hide the official numbers, but there's always workarounds to find the reality that they're trying to cover up. Always. Insurance payouts, That's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, because somebody dies.
Yeah.
If there's life insurance, somebody's getting fucking paid.
Yeah. And in some instances, refusal of insurance payouts is also proof.
Yep.
Because insurance companies can refuse a payout if you agreed to an experimental treatment.
Correct, and that's what they're actually using that. I read a couple articles on that as well.
I'm going to quote Keith Harney. That seems odd.
Yep, and literally, I know there was a buddy of mine at the Pentagon let me know that there was an email that went out in regards to the vax mandate.
Yeah.
And he's like, I had to put my earplugs in that morning because everyone's assholes in the building were slamming shut so hard I just couldn't think. Because that's what people do. Like, oh, yeah, that's the followers. Oh, my God. Somebody is going to lose at musical chairs. The music's going to stop, and they're going to go to Leavenworth.
Boom, 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 boom.
So they're going to blame it on somebody.
Of course.
Yeah. Somebody.
The government is always admit nothing, deny everything, and always have a counter accusation. And in the military, that's what they teach you too.
You remember the Oliver North thing?
No.
He was a Marine, and he got caught in the Iran-Contra. He was, like, running money and weapons. And okay. You know what rank he was?
What?
He was a lieutenant fucking colonel. All right?
That's embarrassing.
That's one above major and one below full bird colonel.
Yeah.
So he had barely enough rank that they just blamed him for fucking everything.
Fall guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Patsy.
Uh-huh.
Patsy Cline.
So there's gonna be all kinds of finger pointing, and you're gonna literally see generals they're gonna go back to when they were like second lieutenants. They're gonna reach in for that soft shoe sand. What?
What?
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do any of that shit. That's that guy over there. But that's what's going to happen.
It is.
They're going to do the soft shoe. I've seen officers doing it my entire career. There's a couple times I'm like, hey, sir, I'm not going to say you're lying, but your soft shoe dance is really not that good. Oh, my God.
I just
You're going to do tap dance your way out of that? Fuck off!
I'll drink to that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You got me spun up. I actually had to do a dance routine. It's fucking crazy.
Homo suspicion points.
I was doing the soft shoe. There's no gay in it.
Biden farts do. Biden farts do.
Oh my God.
We need one for Kamala. She's a slut do. She's a slut do.
I can't stand that.
Where does she like it? In the butt do.
Yeah, that would be a good one right there. Yeah, in the butt.
Yeah, Jimmy, you know this is your shot glass, bro.
Yep.
Keep these in sight. It's quite fantastic.
I got like 4 or 5 different shot glasses from fans over the past 5 years.
You guys are awesome with the glasses, with the booze.
Yeah, and I want to thank the guy who actually sent this.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking. Can you imagine that? Yeah!
You see that coming after you know shit just went off the chain.
Listen, man. The only thing scarier than a dude with an axe is a dude with a chainsaw.
True enough. Or perhaps a woman with a big blue dildo.
Oh my God.
Never gets old.
Dude,
you want to do a quick roll call before we jump into the next subject? We're going to talk a little bit about Mar-a-Lago, too.
Yeah, oh God, don't get me started on that shit. Oh!
We got 911.
Hang on.
We got 911
On what?
on YouTube. That's ironic as shit. 488 likes, so you guys got to smash that shit like it owes you money. 46 on MGTOW.tv. Rumble is sitting happy at 697. How's everybody doing tonight? We got Odyssey with 91. D-Live is sitting with 48, and Twitch with 26. There it is.
All right.
Didn't load for a second. But it's back.
All right.
All right, smash the likes, everybody. And a big thank you to fellow War Hoarder who sent in a $50 donation before the show. Thank you so much.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Make sure that I give him a little shout out there. Hey, where's my email at? Did it go away? Did it go away?
fuck it up?
Did it fuck it up? Wah. Nah, it's all good.
Were you fucking with me?
I just want to make sure that I read his donation accurately. It says, donation to assist in raising awareness of the skyrocketing suicide rates among veterans, servicemen in the Western world. We use dark humor, political incorrectness, and comedy that will piss off the world. The truth hurts. It will set you free.
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
$50 shot over a bow an hour. Over the bow an hour and a half early before the stream. Pop, have you read enough of my vomit over the last 12 hours or so?
I've read a lot of it.
This dude needs to write a blog because he's a
writing motherfucker.
He sends me like 5 novels a day. I can't even read them all.
No, I read most of it, and I respond back with cool or
cool.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Or I make a comment on the very important part, Yeah.
Yes.
But, that guy's smart as shit.
Yeah,
and he's got a lot of time on his hands.
Seriously, start a Substack.
Yeah?
Seriously, like don't bother with a blog. Just go to Substack, create your own Substack. People will subscribe and pay you for your shit. I promise you. You're well researched. You write well. Do it.
Yeah, actually,
Do
that's
it now!
a damn good idea.
Yeah.
Hell, don't we have what do we have for our server where people talk on? What's it called?
The Gilded Chat.
Yeah, is that similar?
No. The Substack is literally like a news site where people go for written news.
All right.
Independent news, which is really the only news you get now because you're sure as hell are not going to find it on TV.
Nope.
Well, you might get a little bit now that Brian Stelter is gone.
I hate that guy.
He was like in tears. We got to fight back against the evil far right and win. Fuck
Of
off.
course he was crying because he's never going to get a gig like that again.
That bald loser.
I mean, he'll work in the industry, but I highly doubt. Now, I could be wrong. Okay.
Stranger things have happened.
My asp is telling me he's not going to ever be at the same level as he was.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's been 20 years and we still hear about Ann Coulter.
Yeah. What the?
So, I mean, there's apparently a market for losers all over the place.
Ann Coulter, who is that?
She's the one who, I don't know. I don't even. She wrote a book called Godless.
Oh, okay.
She may have solid points once in a while, and she was one of the only conservative so-called pundits who pegged Donald Trump to get the Republican nomination in
remember her.
2016,
Yeah.
and they laughed at her.
Yep.
And it turned out she was right. She might have been talking out of her ass and just doing it for attention, but
I always thought she was pretty good.
broken clock is right twice a day, I guess.
I don't know. I kind of like Ann Coulter. I've listened to some of her stuff in the past. I don't have any negative animosity for her.
Oh, okay. You read her books and listen to that song.
No.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
The thick skin in the studio. I like it.
In the studio.
Yeah.
But Mar-a-Lago.
There we go.
Mar-a-Lago.
All right. Now, first of all, I'm just going to say that this is setting a very dangerous precedence.
Just a bit.
So basically, and this is very common in banana republics.
Yep.
One president will get elected, and he will literally go after the prior president. And anything bad that happens after he leaves office, they blame it on him.
Yeah.
And it is just a clusterfuck.
He's been playing the Obama card. Oh, I didn't know what was happening. I totally wasn't. The White House is still trying to officially deny any knowledge of the raid, even after the memoranda came out proving that Biden had a hand in it directly.
There are FBI whistleblowers coming forward with all kinds of internal information.
And we knew it was bullshit immediately because January 6th commission is failing. They're not gonna recommend charges because there's no charges to bring. Because the guy that was made fun of for 6 years about his physical state. Oh, he's fat. We really need to be questioning his health because he's so overweight and blah blah blah. All of a sudden, apparently on January 6th, he's a fucking Power Ranger and he can leap through the window of the Secret Service vehicle and try to wrestle the wheel away. Fuck you. Holy shit.
Yeah. And listen, there needs to be an actual Supreme Court case where they just once and for all say, hey, you can't go back and fucking go after the former president.
Yeah, SCOTUS is going to have to weigh in on this.
Yeah. And because, listen, the president has the authority to declassify anything.
Just by talking about it.
Just by talking about it, correct.
That's all.
So, and I read the report. He had over 300 classified documents. Well,
prove it.
Prove it. Take him to court and prove it. And while we're at it, I want to see Hillary Clinton do the perp walk.
Yep.
I want her entire fucking staff who smashed up cell phones. 5 years hard labor.
Yep. And everybody involved in covering up Hunter Biden. And Hunter Biden himself needs to do the perp walk. He is provably, at this point, he has broken several laws.
He's on camera.
He's on camera doing it. He needs to be in prison.
Yeah, that motherfucker needs to go to the...
Yeah, but we're going to raid the house,
if he gets
private residence of a former president.
If, for whatever reason, he goes to prison, I know so many people... I'll fucking turn his life into a redneck motherfucking nightmare.
Allegedly.
Glorious.
It'd be quite glorious.
Listen, you could fuck somebody up in prison.
Yeah. Well, let's to go back to the prior point about January 6th is failing. How many times has the legacy media? How many times have the Democrats said Trump's done this time? Russian collusion. Pissing hookers, his tax returns.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on.
The 2020 election definitely wasn't stolen. January 6th committee, nuclear secrets. By this logic, you need to euthanize every president after they leave office.
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, and this is where it gets really, really scary right here. Biden White House facilitated DOJ's criminal probe against Trump, scuttled privilege claims in memos. So, long before it professed no prior knowledge of the raid on Donald Trump's estate, the Biden White House worked directly with the Justice Department and the National Archives to instigate the criminal probe into alleged mishandling of documents, allowing the FBI to review evidence retrieved from Mar-a-Lago this spring and eliminating the 45th president's claims to executive privilege. Like I said, if you're going to follow this chain of logic to its conclusion, you have to euthanize every president when they leave office.
Absolutely correct.
You cannot just eliminate the prior president's executive privilege.
Well, hang on. My Intel analyst brain is coming up with a theory. Oh. And that theory is this. Mr. Trump has actual evidence of malfeasance going on, and they don't want him to have said evidence.
Yeah. It's not about nuclear secrets. It's about probably Biden crime family secrets.
If it was about nuclear secrets, why didn't you lynch fucking Hillary Clinton for giving away our uranium?
Yeah. Exactly.
They should launch that bitch into fucking space.
If it was anybody else, they would.
I mean, I would love to watch it on TV.
I mean, shit, how many years did the one dude on the submarine get just because he happened to take a picture where a piece
5 years.
Fuck's sakes.
And
5 years for a selfie that just happened to include part of a nuclear engine.
Well, no, it wasn't even the engine. It was a control panel. In a location, a door.
Whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, but
come on.
The whole room is you're not supposed to be fucking around with that shit in there. But yeah, I mean,
but for anyone else, ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Yeah, no.
If you're one of the political elite, ignorance of the law means, well, she didn't mean to, so I guess we're just not going to refer charges because I don't want to get suicided.
pretty much.
Fuck's sakes.
I mean, this is getting out of hand here.
Oh, it's well beyond out of hand.
Now, listen, a lot of people are like, Pop, you're fucking Trump-pansy. Listen.
Kiss my ass.
One, I am not a Trump-pansy. Number two, I want to see our government go back to the way it's supposed to be running.
I want our officials to
three.
be public servants who are held accountable.
That's right. I want whoever's elected to represent the people who elected them. They
Liz
don't get
Cheney.
elected and all of a sudden, like, those peons, I need to lead them. That's not your fucking job, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, Liz Cheney. Fucking cunt.
I mean, oh man, this is really going to get bad.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh, and the hits just keep on coming, or should I say the shits just keep on coming.
Yep.
The most complete summary was contained in a lengthy letter dated May 10th that acting National Archivist Deborah Steidel-Wall sent Trump's lawyers summarizing the White House's involvement. Oh, he didn't expect somebody within the walls to talk. On April 11th, 2022, the White House counsel's office, affirming a request from the Department of Justice supported by an FBI letterhead memorandum, formally transmitted a request that NARA provide the FBI access to the 15 boxes for its review within 7 days, with the possibility that the FBI might request copies of specific documents following its review of the boxes. Wall wrote Trump defense attorney Evan Corcoran. That letter revealed Biden empowered the National Archives and Records Administration to waive any claims to executive privilege that Trump might assert to block DOJ from gaining access to the documents. The counsel to the president has informed me that in light of the particular circumstances presented here, President Biden defers to my determination in consultation with the Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel regarding whether or not I should uphold the former president's purported protective assertion of executive privilege, Wall wrote. I therefore decided not to honor the former president's protective claim of privilege. So she's a peon.
Yep.
And Biden's like, okay. Well, his handlers said okay.
Well, the thing is the FBI was they're basically meeting with Trump's lawyers talking about these documents for months prior.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what he had. They could have said, hey, can you bring those documents?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He was cooperating the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's why when that stupid bitch went on Fox and it's like, well, Hillary cooperated like a human being by smashing servers and cell phones with hammers and bleach bit. Kiss my ass.
Listen, if you're a colonel in the military and you just happen to have a secret server with all kinds of top secret shit on it in your bathroom, you're going to fucking prison.
Yeah.
They're going to nail you to a fucking wall.
Yep. But, of course, when you don't have the facts on your side, what do? You accuse the other side of doing what you're doing.
Projection.
Yes. Because the Washington Post, when Trump was in office, said that he was weaponizing alphabet agencies against his adversaries, which is a fucking lie. You'll find all these sources on Redonkulas.com. They're there as we speak.
Yeah,
And worried that President Trump might use the power of his office to punish personal enemies? I hate to break it to you, but you're 3 years too late, because he's done it already many, many times. He did it in the Ukraine affair, of course, when he tried to use taxpayer funds to extort a foreign leader into smearing a political opponent. Never happened. The administration is abusing the antitrust system to punish perceived enemies in the auto industry. Never happened. He allegedly tried to use federal procurement to punish perceived enemies. Allegedly tried. You see how they get away with telling these lies? Mm-hmm. It's so stupid.
Hypothetically.
And yet, here we go. Former Attorney General under Barack Obama, Eric Holder, identified and placed sympathetic ideologues in key departments of the DOJ and FBI, something Biden has also done in his tenure.
Yep.
They were placed in the IRS, the FEC, and the IRS. This all combined to form a red team that would target, isolate, and destroy opponents of Obama or his legacy. Reportedly, both Democrats and Republicans were on the list, but the majority were conservative leaders. They mapped out weak targets, and the IRS, SEC, or FEC would research them deeply, looking for mistakes or missteps. Once information was gathered that would spark interest, it was leaked to friendlies in the press, politicians, or sympathetic nonprofits such as the Sunlight Foundation. By doing so, they covered their tracks to avoid the charge of targeting. Multiple sources in Congress have reported that the DOJ would then hijack these administrative agencies' actions, bringing these investigations in-house and handling them as felony investigations. The targeted list was developed and fleshed out by the Red Team or Hit Squad. Once the DOJ took a case, it moved without interference, using broad powers to issue subpoenas and charges in federal criminal indictments. Republicans are treated differently than Democrats.
That needs to stop.
Yep.
Now, listen, this is only further dividing people. Like, literally, when our own government is turning on itself, sooner or later, people are like, why the fuck are these people there?
Yeah.
And they're going to have a huge problem.
It's going to be a very, very big problem.
Yeah.
It blows my mind, really, that all of this information is there. It's easily accessible. And yet, people will read the New York Times without irony and see conspiracy theory and just go, well, that's all I need to know.
It's
I'm
'cause
good.
They're lazy.
Yeah.
And listen, there's a lot of people out there, when you tell them the truth, they shut off. They have cognitive dissonance because they don't want to hear the truth because it scares the shit out of them at just how bad it is.
Well, that, and when you emotionalize your politics, you can point a finger at anyone with a dissenting opinion and call it a personal attack. You're personally attacking me. That's uncalled for. And then they just cut you out of their life.
Yep.
Which is why Democrats are, 75% more likely to unfriend people over politics?
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a
I'm
fuck
glad.
either.
I don't want anything to do with them anyway.
You show me who you are when you do that. So it's fine.
Well, most of them are out of their fucking mind.
Well, yeah, they can't defend anything. That's why they emotionalize all of it.
I don't even talk to my liberal friends anymore. I have no stomach for it. I just can't. I mean, literally, like this one individual, I'm like, look, bro, you're a college-educated individual, all right? And also, we're outside. This is Mother Nature, right? Huh?
Yeah.
So, there's honeybees, they're female, and then there's a couple drones. That's there's two sexes right there, and then there's ants and birds, and every spring they come together and they reproduce.
Yeah.
That's how fucking the world works. But somehow in your twisted fucking brain, you can't seem to fucking understand that there's 199 fucking different genders. Fuck you, you idiot. I just can't deal with those people.
No, I can't deal with it either.
I'm like, oh no,
I just laugh, and these are the people who claim to be the party of science.
yeah.
Yeah, 192 genders, party of science.
Yeah. Born that way. Metaphysical argument, party of science.
It's hilarious. These are the same people who will insist on a stack of Bibles that you and I, despite not being born at the time, are responsible for slaveholders.
Yeah.
In this country, who were a minuscule portion of the population. By the way, the
6%.
It's lower than that. The first ever American slave owner was a black dude named Anthony Johnson.
Mm-hmm. And it was in on one of the New York islands.
No, he was in the South, like anybody else. Most of them were down south.
No, he was up north.
Okay, we'll double check it, but
okay.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
Okay.
But either way, no matter how you swing it, you're talking about a minuscule percentage of the population, and yet 200 years later, we're supposed to take a knee.
Yeah.
And apologize for our privilege.
You know what our privilege is? We had a not anymore, but we used to have fathers.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you are born to a single mother, you are literally starting off with a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
By the time you get to 18, you are 5 or 6 years behind somebody else who had a father.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to relearn all of those fucking life lessons that you didn't get from your father.
Yep.
And that
I need to finish my point before
Sorry,
I lose it.
sorry.
Because I'm just leaving people hanging here when you cut in. So
Gotcha.
these are the same people who will say that we have to apologize for that. And yet, they have wholeheartedly embraced a gender theory perpetuated by a pedophile and child experimenter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's stunning and brave when they do it, and you're still a bigot if you don't agree. And these are also the same people who will cheat on you, and if you're stupid enough to forgive them, if you bring it up 5 years later, Well, that was so long ago. You just need to get over it.
Yep.
Fuck them.
Yep.
And like you said, most of them raised in fatherless homes, which is why they don't have a logical bone in their damn body. They've emotionalized everything because that's all they've ever been taught.
And listen, I mean, that royally fucked me for years. You know, that blue pill feminist conditioning that I was put through.
Well, shit, man, you didn't break free of that upbringing until...
I got divorced.
Yeah. Oh, and even then, you still went for the horse chick after that because you thought, well, she'll be different.
No, that was the last one right there. Yeah.
That was the last straw.
That was it. That was it. You're right. You are correct.
It takes a long time to break yourself of that conditioning, and to the point where, I mean, because you don't have to be a product of your upbringing. That's a choice.
Correct.
But it's much easier for people to point fingers and blame than it is to admit that as adults, they have control over their decisions and how those decisions affect their lives.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Bunch of shit. J.H. Cho's like, Pop went after a horse thought?
Yes, it did.
And that's the one that had the America's Funniest Home Video released on the internet later.
Yes.
You didn't have anything to do with that.
I did not. I did not have anything to do with that.
But it did find its way into your email box.
Well, apparently the individual she was doing home videos with, and they had a falling out.
Yeah, they're just cat videos.
And those things were put on certain websites. And then somebody emailed all of that crap to her employer, and everyone in her shop saw it. So she had to leave work, get another job. And somebody in the shop sent me the email, and then I saw the shit, and I was like, oh my God! It was bad.
Well, it's a horse chick, so was she riding?
A little bit of that. Yeah, well, all kinds of crazy
A little bit of muck in the stalls, if you know what I mean.
And I actually ran into her again like a year and a half ago.
Oh, did she age like banana pudding?
Worse.
Oh, what's worse than banana pudding?
Undead.
A lich. She's a lich.
She looked terrible.
It's a lich.
Because she was 1 day older than me. So when I met her
I met her.
years ago,
You brought her to the premiere of the movie, and I was like,
she was pretty hot back then, but not anymore.
no. Even then, I was like, Pop could do better.
Yeah. But anyway, like literally, I'm reaching down into the freezer to get something out. I'm at the party store, and I look up, and she's like literally standing right there, and I just make eye contact just for a second, pass, and I just turn and walk out. That's it, and nothing more to say. Pass.
Well, I mean, these women always reappear in your life, and well, I really wish that I would have given it a fair shake.
Yeah, get lost.
Piss off.
And here's the funny part: she's working now. I believe last time I heard from basically somebody that I knew that knows her. She was working at an auto parts store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auto parts.
That bitch is not retiring.
Never.
She's going to work herself until she dies, and she deserves it.
I know people who can't keep women in their 50s who can't keep a job to save their damn lives.
And one of them would be your sister.
Not going to get into that.
Yeah, I got you.
She's actually had the same job now for quite a while.
All right.
But other people that I know working nothing but retail jobs, constantly getting fired, or switching jobs because I just don't feel like it anymore or some shit. Like, come
Retail's so brutal.
on. Of course it's brutal.
Working in retail sucks.
And there's no future in it. But I guess as long as you vote Democrat, you're totally never going to get audited.
Totally.
Yeah. Idiots.
I mean, the only future in that is to save enough money to get your own retail establishment. And then you can crack the whip and have somebody else work retail for you.
And even then.
Yeah, and even then, yeah, you're right.
Like, you have to actually become the dick that you used to hate when you were the peon in order to make any sort of money. And like I said, even then, it's not really enough.
No,
because at that point you've sold your dignity down the river, and
You're fucked.
that's worth nothing at that point. So.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass.
Your work, it's worth right about nothing. That's right.
Nothing. Well, it is just about 9:15
Really? Already? God damn!
but we
whipped through
covered
that fast.
everything.
Wow.
And I do have to add your World War II sources, your Nazi sources to the website because they were sent last minute. But I'll add those to the side so everybody watching the stream, if you want to verify sources and send them to the leftoid friends that you still have in your life just to piss them off a little bit, pepper the steak as it's cooking on the grill, you go right ahead. And I think we're going to go empty our squirrel bladders and jump to new tech and read some super chats.
Take it easy.
Yeah, so look for those links in the YouTube chat. And while you're over on New Tech, you might want to take a look at the content because there was a video posted today that didn't go on YouTube. And that's why if you don't have an account on Rumble, Odyssey, MGTOW.tv, BitChute,
You're fucking yourself.
fucking up. Because it was a good one. It was called Crime and No Punishment. Gee, I wonder what we could be talking about.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's almost like the left sucks at life.
You would think.
You would think. Well, actually, I would know because we always have the facts to back it up. Sources are in the description. And yeah, so go piss, refill your drinks, look for the links.
And see you in 5.
See you in 5. I wanted to make it rhyme. Clinks.
All right.
Fuck off.
All right.